Okay, one of the things I did yesterday was I took the seat off and used it as a template to draw around the outside of it to give me a gauge to the size of the first layer of plywood I want to make, and then figure out where the bolt holes are and their position from the back edge. So the new seat will fill back to where the seat is normally when it's when you get it from the dealer. It's at the far back position, and I have mine now at the far front position, or all the way forward. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. There you can see the pattern, and then I'm probably going to do at least another layer and maybe a third to get it up to, this is a 6mm 1/4 inch ply, marine grade ply, so to get it up to 3/4 of an inch, so I can get a nut cert in there, so I can bolt up into it. I can get the metric with 10mm bolt thread local hardware store. So let me go ahead and continue, and we'll come back probably after I get all the woodwork done. There's no use, you watching that. And I'm going to be using either some old foam that came out of one of my whitewater kayaks, or I've got another sheet of about 1.25 inch thick high density foam that I can glue together in stacks and then shape it. This nice thing about this is you can sand it down and give it a nice finish, but then I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of vinyl on it to cover it up and then make it look pretty. So we'll see what happens. Talk to you. Well, I'll be back when we get all the woodwork done. Okay, I've got my my pieces of wood cut out. I got my basic template with the holes for the bolts that go through the existing one, and then I've got my backup pieces that I'll stack up in order to get a nut cert to fit in there that the bolt will come up through. I've got my stack of foam cut out. It's all closed, high density closed cell foam. This is stuff I found someplace. I can't remember where I got it, but this is out of the pillar of my first whitewater kayak that the plastic finally degenerated and broke up, but the foam was still good. So I'm going to stack that on top of my wood seat like this, and then I'm going to shape the whole sandwich, be a little tapered. I may pull out one of the stacks and lower it down. Right now it's 5 inches, and I want to put a lot of taper on the back side, and it's easier to taper on this. And once I get all the stack, the height and shape I want, then I'll either run it through the bandsaw at a slight angle or take a rasp and shape it. And then I'll cover it with some vinyl I've got. And we'll see what happens. It may look kind of funky, but your back don't care when you've done about 300-400 miles in one day. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm coming along on the seat back, or on the new backrest for the seat, and I've just glued up a couple of little squares in the bottom. They will fit in on the plastic part when you take the back of the rest off. There's some little cross pieces in there for some support and separation, and I had to put these little pieces in here to get around, to get it down fit. So when it's bolted in place, there'll be a gap under here, and it'll be setting on the plate, which I'll show you later on how everything goes. I wanted to put the wood on the bottom so I can roll the vinyl over the top and staple it around the perimeter. I'm going to get ready to contact cement this all together, and so I'll have a block about this high that'll set on the scoop, and then I'll shape it, and I'm probably going to put some softer foam along here, glue that on before I cover it with vinyl. But this whole thing is going to get shaped. It's going to be tapered on the back, so it'll look nice. So this close dense cell foam really works well for shaping, and so it'll look nice when I get done with it. So I'll come back later when I have a little more done. Okay, next thing to do is to square up the sides, and then what else have I done? I was off a little bit on the shape, so I took a template and bent it in half and then cut it smooth on all the edges so I could get a better, an even cut on the block. But now I'm going to taper. Here's those blocks that I glued on. We'll show you these, how they fit in the scoop later. But now I've got to reduce the size of my template to put on the top, and then this will be the new front edge here, and from this line back to the bottom will be a taper. I may do this more than once. I don't want to get it too light up here, so I'm pushing back on it. It's got some resistance, but I don't want to make it so bulky that it's that it just looks out of place. So I'll go on and see what we can do on the next one on the shaping, and I'll come back on that. Okay, I've got my foam pad all cut out. I've got the bottom shaped. I've got my nut certs into their holes, and everything fits up to fit on the seat here. And then I've got these little pads that fit in these little boxes that are in here on the seat. You'll see if you take them off. So I got that to fit on, so it'll be pretty tall. And I just got done making my my cover. So now I got it on back. Well, no, that's right. Now I've got to I'll staple it on, stretch it out, and then get it down. So I'm going to go do that now, and then come back and see what happens. So I think it'll work. Maybe not. If nothing else, it's kept me occupied for a few days. Oh, get around here. Okay, I can't say that I'm the world's best upholsterer, but I got it tacked on, stretched down, and it fits. And so now I'm going to go ahead and bolt it on. For those that don't remember where the remember the seat bolts are up where underneath the tool. Okay, I wanted to get a little postscript in here. I wanted to show the backrest without my coat on. I didn't notice that was in there. So I fitted the new backrest on. There's a gap in here underneath, and it seems to be fairly stable, and it's really comfortable, and it gives me a nice erect position when I'm riding, whether I want to put my feet up on the footboards, the angled footboards in front, and kind of push back against it, or set up straight. I feel a lot of support in the back here. The other thing I want to get to show you is the new, if you've been following the form, that back or seat pad that I took out of my touring canoe. That was a prototype from not System 3 Epoxy, but Thermarest people, Cascade Designs, and it's got these bungee cords that in the little loops around the edges, and then it up in the front here, the bungee cord comes up and it fits underneath the horn on both sides and up around the back seat and the back, and then it's got the little Thermarest air cell on the side, and it's a really comfy thing. And the other thing I like about it too is before with the old backrest, it was kind of rounding up on the face of it because of the way it was pulled back into it, because the stock backrest fits down flush with the top of the existing seat. But with this new backrest that I put in there, got a gap underneath of it, and so this pad sits underneath of it just perfect. So I've got a 200 miler this weekend, Saturday, and I will know what happens when I get back from that. So this should do it on that one. We'll let you know. Bye-bye.